parents. What you do for your father? He says, Allah, I try to get the udder, the breast of the animal, and I try to warm it before milking, so that the milk becomes good and warm, and then I milk it, and then I provide it to him. I'm just focusing on how great, how does he yatafannan, how does he try to do the best of his father and mother. I heard about people, I don't like to go through stories, but anyhow, mother before the second element, which is very important, is my parents are first, right? Number two, my mother before my father. This is the Islamic principle. My father is before my mother. Because Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, explained to us that paradise lies at the feet of our mothers. My brothers, you may ask me a question. This, we are talking about building Islamic character, and we are talking about those basics. Wallahi, we lose those basics. We miss those basics. This is true. That's why we have a confusion in our characters. And this is very important. Here, if we establish this very well, we will achieve this internal peace in our minds and in our hearts. A man came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, O Messenger of Allah, how do I enter Jannah? The Prophet ﷺ said, is your mother alive? Is your mother alive? The man said, yes, she is alive. The Prophet ﷺ said, find her feet and stick yourself ilzam qadamayha. Stick yourself to them, to their feet, to her feet. That you will find Jannah. There you will find Jannah. Ilzam qadamayha fathamma al-Jannah. Also, a man came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, O Allah's Messenger, who is more entitled to be treated with the best companionship by me? And the Prophet ﷺ said, your mother. The man said, who is next? The Prophet said, your mother. The man further said, who is next? The Prophet ﷺ said, your mother. And finally he said, your father. The point here from all those ahadith and ayat is a very important principle. Don't take your father and mother for granted. Don't get your father and mother for granted, because most of the people, they think that as long as they have father and mother, they don't know the real value of those. When she dies, you will be called ماتت التي كنا نكرمك من أجلها, the one that we used to honor you because of her, so she passed away. So do something good that Allah may honor and raise your grade because of. So do something else. So it is, we shouldn't take our father and mother for granted. Again, I repeat it, because one day you are going to lose them, and you will not have that righteous and great value that you get. How can you be grateful? Very short. Number one, to be grateful to your parents, the first step that I suggest is tell them that you love them. Tell them that you love them, because it makes them happy. This was the practice of the Sahaba Ridwanullahi Ta'ala alayhim, and Abu Huraira especially, may Allah be pleased with him, he used to do this practice. Every single morning he says, Assalamu alayki ya ummi, ya ummah, peace be on you, my mother. And then he used to say, Rahimaki kama rabbaytani saghira. May Allah have mercy on you, because you grow me up when I was a child. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu is taking this example for sure from the ahadith, or understanding the ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number two, you must pray for your parents when you are making your salah. Don't lose any sujood or any single prayer without making this, because the Quran has instructed us very clearly about this. The Quran instructed us how to do this dua. Even the Quran provided the literal words, the wording of this dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Rabb wa qul, say, Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani sagira. Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani sagira. My Lord, bestow on them your mercy as they did bring me up when I was small. The Quran, of this important, significant issues that it includes, it focuses on providing you the details here in this issue of what type of dua that you should say. Number 3, help around the house. This is one of the tips. Regardless of whether you live with them or not, go and help them around the house. You can do the laundry, iron the clothes, even make some lunch for them. This still surely help them a great deal and make a big difference in them. Be at their feet. This is the adab of the Quran, and this is the adab of an-nubuwah. One of the Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim lost his son. So they actually found the father crying too much. And they said, Ya akhi, you should have sabr. He is your child and he passed away. That's inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And then the man didn't stop. So they said, can you tell us what type of a child that you have? What did he used to do with you? And he said, my child, I never ever walked in any road and I found him in front of me. He never take a step in front of me. Look at the adab. Look at the adab. From where did they take it? They took this adab from the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. The story of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, who refused to take the second floor because he was afraid. He imagined himself, how should he take the second floor? And the Prophet ﷺ is sitting on the basement. And if he does something, so what did Abu Ayyub, what did he do? Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, he gathered himself and his family and he took a corner in the house, in the second floor, because the Prophet ﷺ refused. He says, يَغْشَاكَ الضِّيفَانِ, you receive guests, so it is not appropriate that I take the second floor. The people will go back and forth. So the Prophet ﷺ preferred to sit on the first floor or in the basement. So what Abu Ayyub al-Ansari did, the Abu Ayyub al-Ansari imagined, how should I put my feet on the place where the Prophet ﷺ lives? It is not imaginable, it's not possible. So he spent the whole night just in a corner. This is adab. This is great adab that the ummah received from the Prophet ﷺ and transmitted as a legacy when they treated their parents. So help around the house. Number 4, be present and have patience. Because actually patience is everyday life, except especially in calamities. It's crucial with your parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to treat our parents with ihsan and with birr. The Quran used 2 words, birr and ihsan. Birr is a very concise word which has 2 letters, ba and ra. But the word includes all aspects of righteousness. All aspects of righteousness is included in the word birr. You imagine or what you do not imagine. But before birr, there is a higher degree which is ihsan, which is perfection. And ihsan, as it is mentioned in the hadith of Jibreel, that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you see him, or as recognizing that he for sure sees you or sights you. So we are required to practice ihsan with our parents, which means to treat our parents with excellence in every aspect. Excellence in patience, in kindness, going to the extra mile of them. Even if your parents are not Muslim, every difficult situation should be perceived as a test for you. And we should be thankful every day that we have the deen to guide us and keep us steadfast. So this is very important. Being patient with your parents doesn't mean ignoring them or isolating yourself from them. Because some people, they think that I'm patient, so I'm not going to annoy them. I will keep myself away from them. Okay, no. The Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, say not to them so much off. Do not say off. And do not repel them, but speak to them in a noble word. So, in order to be told to say off, in order to be told to say off, not to say off, in order to be told not to say to them off, there has to be conversation, right? There has to be conversation and communication between you and them. So no silence. Therefore, hiding in your room because you don't want to be around your parents, not equivalent of being patient. And it's not of the adab. Again, the Prophet ﷺ used the term Man ahaqqu nasi bihusni sahabati. Sahabati. What is suhba? Friendship. How to treat your friend. To sit beside your friend and talk, your conversation, chat. Right? So this is the type of relationship that you have with your father and mother. It's a type of friendship. It's like companionship. Suhba. It's called companionship. Suhba. Husnu suhba. One important tip that I would like to emphasize, my brothers and sisters, is accept your father and your mother as is. Accept them as is. As is. When you buy, subhanAllah, when you buy a used car, they put it as is. You use the same term here in England, as is? Or it is only in England and in the US? In the auctions in the US, they have as is. Naam?
Sold as seen.
Oh, sold as seen. This is the terminology you have. In the US, as is. This is they use acronyms and shorthand. So subhanallah, accept your parents as is, as they are. Don't try to transform them, and don't imagine that they are better than this situation. This will relieve you, and this will actually remove a lot of the conflict that is inside your heart, because you will live a struggle all the time. No, accept them as they are. This will relieve you. Accept everything from them, listen to them, and love them in this way. This is very important. Many of us have this idea, my parents are wrong. I deserve to be treated better. They come from back home and have a backward mentality. This only worsens the situation. Be diplomatic and avoid arguing. This is very important when we deal with our parents. Number 7, I'm afraid that we forgot all those things, but I will review them again. Always try to respond with kindness. As busy as you think, remember that your parents are the source of your creation. And when you please your parents, there is only reward in that. Even if it is through mundane activities like housework. Basically, it is always a win-win situation. Your parents are happy and Allah is happy. If your parents are happy, your parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy. رضا الرب من رضا الوالد وسخط الرب من سخط الوالد. Never answer back. Never answer back. When you feel like answering back your parents, remember that Allah has forbidden us from even saying off. It's just signing out of frustration is a sin. Then imagine any words on top of that. وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كريما. كريما. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described 4 things in the Quran with karam, I think, if I remember. The words that you say to your father and your mother, and also he described Musa alayhi salam as Rasulun Kareem, and he also described the throne, the book of Sulaiman alayhi salam when he sent it to the Queen of Sheba. It's ألقي إلي كتاب كريم. Now, so it is kind and generous words. Generous means that you increase your words with her, with them, not just how are you? Fine. Did you go? No. Have you been? Yes. No. Some of our children, subhanallah, and our people, when they respond to their father and mother, they just have like this, right? No, you have to be generous in talking to them because they are in need to talk with you. So elaborate it. This is the meaning of a generous talk. Generous means it's elaborate and it's also nice and doesn't hurt and it makes them happy. Now, don't share your problems with others. Talking about your parents. Allah all-wise has ordained these parents for you. And so you should not go and speak to others about being ungrateful to them. It is sinful to expose the flaws of a Muslim, let alone your own parents.